According to Michigan's Social Studies grade level content expectations, a responsible citizen displays social understanding and civic efficacy, including knowledge of the human condition, how it has changed over time, the variations that occur in different physical environments and cultural settings, and the emerging trends that appear likely to shape the future in an interdependent world. While childhood is universal and experienced by every human being, the popular trends and social structure of a time period greatly influence children's upbringing and the way in which they lived. By learning about the historical trends in various time periods, a student will be led to be a more developed citizen by being able to compare the changes that have taken place over time.
Think about the chores children are often given. Vacuuming, feeding the pets, or cleaning their room may come to mind. However, it hasn't always been this way. In the 1800s, children were given much more demanding chores around the house and yard, such as cutting firewood, planting and harvesting crops, cleaning out the barns and sheds, as well as caring for the farm animals. When children weren't doing these labor-intensive chores, they were often assisting their mother in the kitchen or spending time studying in the schoolhouse. This left little time for leisure, and children in the 1800s had very simplistic toys. Their playtime required the use of creativity and imagination. As you can see, the toys that were used in the barn were made out of only pieces of wood and metal. This simple hula hoop and croquet set would entertain children during their free time during chores around the barn. Jacks and the baseball mitt were activities that children could play with in groups. Social interaction occurred naturally and face-to-face. After a long day of disciplined work, the rocking horse toy in the living room was an easy way for children to relax and entertain themselves. Children could use their imagination to pretend they were a knight going into battle or a cowboy riding through the country on a rocking horse. Now think about the toys that children use today. How do they compare to these few and simple toys used in the 1800s? As time progressed, so did the toys that children played with. In the early 1900s, children had more free time to play, so the amount of toys increased. In November of 1925, J.L. Hudson, a major department store, opened the first toy store. It was called the Toy Circus and was filled with all the toys any children's heart might desire. They had everything from dolls, books, play trucks, and musical instruments. Interestingly enough, the toys during this time period began to mimic the daily household chores that children did during the 1800s. For example, serving tea in the kitchen, pushing dolls in strollers, and washing dolls' clothes on a washboard were all seen as playful activities during the 1900s, rather than strenuous responsibilities for kids in the 1800s. It is also important to notice that toys became much more complex than they ever were before. Take the croquet set, for example. In the 1800s, it was a simple wooden one-colored stick that was designed to be played with outside. In the early 1900s, it was adapted to an indoor croquet set and included multiple pieces with different colors and shapes. Children would play with toys with their entire families. Many times, families would sit together, play card and board games, as well as assemble jigsaw puzzles.
While some of these trends continued into the late 1900s, the development and advancements of toys continued. Many toys, such as dolls, books, and trucks, have remained staples throughout the centuries. However, the accessibility of purchasing these toys vastly increased, and the variety of these toys only continued to grow. Bikes were adapted to have 4 wheels and an enclosed seat, so even young children could ride them around the house. Toy stores across the country continue to open, allowing parents to shop both directly from the stores as well as order their children's toys out of the store catalogs.
Now that you have some insight into the toys of the past, let's take a second to reflect on the type of toys children play with today. Many of the toys that children use in this century are advancements of toys from the past. However, technology has had a significant impact on the way children experience childhood today. What do you think children will be playing with 100 years from now?